in the Fanimation lobby. This is the last Q&A session with, I'm honored to call on my friend and mentor, Tom Frampton. A couple questions for Tom that got submitted overnight. I'm going to try to do this quickly. Question one is, what is the story behind the origin of this bird fan here?
I should look up the name, but it's a lamp manufacturer, lighting manufacturer that made fans. So it's got Beal motors in it, and I think they've used GE at times. I have to look up the name.
LeVelle? Is it LeVelle?
That sounds right. And they, 30 models of this thing, all had metal blades. When we reproduced it, we did it with wood blades because they're a lot quieter.
I think the question was more specifically where you found that and its life.
This was my office fan at Casablanca 40 years ago. So I hadn't seen it in years and years and years, and I inherited Burton's collection of antique fans when he died. Burton, the founder of Casablanca. So I've had him about 10 years. He's 10, 11 years since he died. Where
did it come from originally when it was in your office?
I don't know where he got it, but it was in my office.
Okay. Can you give us a brief rundown on some of this memorabilia that's in here?
We've got the first belt fan that I made. It was one of the first 9 we made before we were the Casablanca Fan Company. We were just the Burton Company then, and behind it you can see some of the hand-carved wood tooling for it. This is the Savory aerator, the original, and this is our reproduction as the Fargo. This belt fan was inspired by some Sneneker car fans at Cobb's in New Orleans, so I collect all the menus, plates, mugs, glasses that I can find. They've been closed 20 years or so. And I also collect a lot of Casablanca signage and books and plates from the train and anything I can find.
Somebody also asked about this picture here.
I was in the heyday of the pizza parlors that had the animated bands. There was Chuck E. Cheese, Pizza Time Theater.
Shakey's, wasn't there? ShowBiz?
ShowBiz was the other one. And so I designed a fan to be operated between the stage act. When the act would go off, the fans would come on and the kids could put a coin in and operate the fans. And I was going to give them a Tinker Toy look.
Did that actually end up happening?
Well,
anybody ever do it?
Then the whole market fell apart for those types of businesses, and they all merged into one, Chuck E. Cheese.
I remember that.
And I got it spec'd in one, and they just never did it. They just don't spend any money on the ceilings. It's all arcade games, crummy pizza, and
very bad pizza,
and the act.
Well, that actually is a great segue into the final question. I didn't realize that was going to segue so great, which is, are there any fan designs or fan models, specifically Casablanca, but Fanimation as well, that got designed but never actually made it to the marketplace?
Hundreds. I mean, we design 20, 30 fans a year that we'll even prototype that don't make the cut. So, it's tons and tons.
Any specifically from the Casablanca era that you remember?
We weren't doing that up until '84, and I was there. It was all reproductions. The Saturn was the first original design we ever did, and that was until 1982 or so.
I looked it up last night. 82, 83 sounds about right.
Yeah.
And but then so nothing really from the the ShowBiz thing. That's an example of something that got created but never.
It's artwork. I never produced a working model of it.
Is that the case with a lot of the Fanimation stuff, where it never makes it past the computer screen?
We go through hundreds of renditions that don't make it to the prototype stage.
Anything in particular that has made it to the prototype stage but hasn't made it out that you wish that you could have developed or you particularly liked, Oh,
there's always those units. They weren't named, so I couldn't give you a model name or number because they never got that far. But there's always stuff you wish you could have taken farther, but for whatever reason it just didn't pan out.
I think if you had any drawings or graphic sketches or anything like that of some of those designs that didn't make it out, I think that would be something people would be very interested in seeing.
Yeah, we always hang on to them just in case something changes. We find a place we can market it. Nothing ever gets thrown out. No idea does.
Thank you so much for answering all the questions. Is there anything else that you'd like to say?
It's been great having Mr. Spiffy here. Did a great job getting some noteworthy fans hung, and look forward to seeing him here again.
Well, I can't wait to come back. I've already started pestering you about coming back, so hopefully we'll be doing this again real soon. Thanks so much, Tom, and thank you, Winston.
Yeah.